teach you that when books become longer, like the ones you are reading now, one way to remember the story is to pause at the end of a chapter and think, what's the main event that happened in this chapter? Sometimes readers leave Post-it notes to remind them. And I know we all did Post-it notes when we were back at ACS, so we're going to go over what's important. I was reading Hansel and Katina. My first Post-its talk about how Hansel and Katina are snowed in. They're a little bit worried that they might not have their recital that they've been practicing for, and they're feeling a little sad about it. But right, your notes should help you keep track of the problem, the big event, and how the characters are feeling. I'm going to read the second chapter, chapter 2, The Island. The snow kept falling. All morning, Katina fretted about her plans for the day. All morning, Hansel told her not to fret. Finally, Hansel said, let's pretend that we are on an island. We can't go anywhere. Let's see, what do we have on the island with us? I don't suppose we have a whisker curler, do we? Asked Katina. No, but we do have books, said Hansel. He pulled a book from the shelf and sat down on the sofa, patting the cushion next to him. Let's read poems to each other. I'll start. At first, Katina had a hard time paying attention. She looked out the window and wished that the snow would stop. But when it was her turn to read, she found a poem that made her laugh. And then Hansel read a poem that made her cry. I'm not a very good writer, she told Hansel after they had read for a while longer, but it might be fun to write poems, even bad ones. I think there may be paper and pencils on the island, said Hansel. For a long time, the two friends wrote poems and read them to each other. I'm sleepy, said Katina. My brain is tired. Why don't you take a nap while I fix lunch, Hansel suggested. Good idea, said Katina with a yawn. After lunch, Hansel and Katina baked cookies. Then they played board games because there were board games on their island too. There were also logs on their island. Hansel and Katina built a fire and talked about what they saw in the flames. And then they grew still and didn't talk at all. At last, Katina said, I think there are dreams on this island. What do you mean? Hansel asked. Oh, I was just dreaming about all the things I would like to do someday. And then I thought that dreaming about them is almost as good as doing them. Hansel nodded. Sometimes dreaming is even better than making plans, he said. So I'm going to stop there and I'm going to think, what are the important things that happened in this story? In this chapter, actually. Hansel and Katina are pretending they're on an island. They wrote poems together and played games, board games. And they're feeling better about being snowed in right now. So when you are going off and reading your books, remember to think about any problem, a big event that's happening, and how your characters are feeling. Enjoy.